What's going on, guys? My name is Paulo. This is Kieran. We are back with ATP 27 for the first time in, oh my goodness, a month. Last episode actually was a month ago today, so it was a very, very significant day for that and other reasons. But yeah, here we are today, and like usual, we have no idea what to talk about, but we will figure it out. So how have you been doing, Kieran? What have we been up to?
What have we been up to? Well, I guess I should let you start. I mean, you've had the biggest changes. I mean, I'm sure people, our more eagle-eyed viewers, they might have noticed that you are not in the same place.
I am not in the
as
same
usual.
place. Well, I've actually, I mean, over the last month, haven't I changed, or like the past 2 months, haven't I changed locations? Like
I
several
guess,
times? Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, because remember I used to sit on the floor, and then I moved to a desk for like an episode or two, and then now I'm here on another desk, which is my room. So
Yeah, that's true. I guess. That's true. I guess.
It's pretty. But yeah, this is my room at college. I've moved in. The internet here is actually pretty good. It's like 7. Actually, the download is pretty bad, but the upload is like 30. So we will be streaming in high quality. And then yeah, classes have started. Everything. Things are going along. Met some great people. Have a good group of hooligans to do stuff with. But yeah, other than that, I mean, life is going. It goes.
It goes. Nice.
Yes. What about you?
Well, for me, it's sort of gone the opposite way, I guess. I mean, before we went on the break, I was spending a lot of time working, which is why our schedules went sort of all over the place. We changed days and stuff because I spent a lot of time at work or at college, and then I stopped college, and I was spending at least 20 hours every week at my job, which doesn't sound like a lot, but given I'm supposed to be part-time and stuff, it was quite a lot, and that was a minimum. There were some weeks where I was doing more than the average full-time work. It was ridiculous. And then out of nowhere, my time at work came to an end as I prepared to leave for university myself, and now I'm sort of stuck in limbo in that position where I'm not working because I'm spending time, or supposed to be spending time, getting ready for uni and stuff.
Are you even ready to go?
I haven't even started packing at all. Like, I mean, I've got all the stuff I need, but like my room is literally exactly the same as it was a year ago, or whatever.
Okay.
Like I haven't started packing my room at all. But yeah, so I'm sort of stuck in that limbo at the moment where I'm waiting for the next part of life to start, but at the same time I'm sort of in between life at the moment. Strange feeling. But you know, I'm plugging along, as Paolo put it so beautifully. Life goes.
Wow, thank you for making fun of me. Of course, that is.
I mean, it wouldn't be ATP if I wasn't making fun of you.
This is true. Remember like the 12-hour stream and how crazy it was?
Yeah. Feels like so long ago. When was that? That was what? Right at the end of July, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like 23rd or something, I thought.
Yeah.
And jeez, it feels like I guess it was quite a while ago, but that last month and a half has both flown by, and it feels like it's so far away. It's such a strange feeling. Just the way life has progressed this last few months has been absolutely crazy, and I've completely lost track of just everything. And like, I'll just have random days where I have no idea what the hell is going on around me. It's crazy. Like,
hey, what's up, Panda?
I think it was maybe Saturday, when I couldn't even tell you what day it was. Just everything. Wait, Saturday was yesterday. Yeah, it's happening now. I can barely tell you what day it is at the moment.
It is Sunday. It is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Or evening for you, I guess.
Well, night pretty much. It's 9:30. It's dark outside. It's horrid.
Pond Champ. Ooh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Uber. Gosh, I've missed Twitch. Like, haven't you missed doing this? Honestly, like, I feel so out of the loop. You know.
I mean, I've streamed the odd time. I know Panda's been across you, but no one really comes because I'm not actually doing anything particularly fun to watch. I guess I'm either doing FIFA and I just stream for the sake of I can, or I'll do Pokemon, and none of my Pokemon followers are even around anymore because I abandoned them. Oh, I know something that happened while we were away.
Oh yeah.
That, I want to bring up so that everybody knows, and to make sure that you don't get away with it. Is I did the ice bucket challenge, and I challenged you, and you still haven't done it. And
I still haven't. How am I supposed to do the ice bucket challenge at school?
It's been 2 weeks, and it's not just you. It's not just you. I also called out Liz, and she said she'd do it.
Yeah, but the way Liz is, is Liz ever going to get it done? That is the question. I just need to buy ice. I just need to buy ice, and I need to do that.
Yeah. So I challenged both of you. This was 2 weeks ago today, actually, and you've both let me down. I mean, it might be fun if maybe one day we could. I don't know if this is going to be even possible to rig up. I mean, 99% sure it wouldn't be possible if we could do a live ice bucket challenge on ATP.
How would that work?
I have no idea. I'm talking out loud. No, thinking out loud. That's the one. Of course, I'm talking out loud.
A special show time or what? No, actually, this is actually good. We have to start doing the show around this time, basically every week. Yep. Sunday just seems to be a good time for everyone.
Yep.
I remember when we asked like a month ago, people were like, "It's a good show time for them. It's a good show time for us." I mean, I know a lot of our regular viewers are probably. What do you think? They're probably at school, at work. They don't know what's going on. But if you can spread the message that this is the new ATP time, that would be fantastic.
It's sort of been a bit of an issue. We had the Thursday slot that we used for a while, and then we had to change it just because of my work schedule and just life in general. And Tuesday became a much better option, so we changed it. And some people didn't realize we changed it for a while, and then we've taken this long break, and now we're back, and it's on Sunday, and yeah. But basically, Sunday's better for us both. I mean, Paolo's already at college. I'm going to be going in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks yesterday. So we're both going to be in lessons. Like for me, it's not too bad because obviously time zones and stuff. I can do the show at 9:30 p.m. no problem. But for it to be good for both of us, time-wise, it'd either have to be really early for Paolo, which would probably contradict with class, or really late for me, in which case I would be falling asleep during the show, which as entertaining as that'd be for the rest of you.
I don't think we'd be able to talk about many interesting things.
Yeah.
But here we are. The show has come a long way for sure. I actually didn't. Did I tell people about the Young Minds thing? Did I tell them about that?
No, I don't think you did. I think it was after.
Well, I talked to Young Minds, and obviously I'm at college in the U.S., and they don't really have a very established, like, college chapter. So I asked them if I could start it up here, and they said yes. And it was pretty cool. I mean, I thought they were just gonna, like, give their blessing or whatever, but they wrote me, and I guess really Kieran too, this really long letter about how we've done all this work for Young Minds and everything. And if you guys haven't seen the blog post they wrote about us, Kieran, if you could pull that up, we can show that to them too. So things are happening, that's for sure. It's been a long journey, but Young Minds has really supported us throughout the whole way, and I think that for our year anniversary show, which should be sometime in November, we're going to be able to do another charity stream, which would be very, very exciting. And hopefully we can get more people involved.
I've just posted the blog post in the chat. That was a blog that was written by Laura, who was the person we were in contact with the entire time we've been doing this. So since April, sort of. Actually, I think it was March was when I first set up the page, and yeah, so our fundraising efforts have been posted for all the Young Mind supporters to see on their website, which is incredible. We've raised over £1,000 now. Well, nearly $1,800, and just the entire journey. Like, when we started across the pond, I don't think either of us expected us to reach the point where we've raised so much and supported this amazing charity so much. And I think, although we don't have the biggest viewer base on Twitch, which sure, we'd like to get all the viewers in the world, but I think the fact that we've done what we've done and where we've taken across the pond and how we've raised all that money, I am more proud of that than I would ever have been if we had 1,000 viewers right now.
And we hadn't done any of that stuff, of course, because this is important. It's very global, and I think that's why our podcast differs in the sense that we aren't so concerned about the tiny issues. We're trying to just make a difference somewhere and just say something worth saying rather than just talk about nonsense the whole time. And of course, we have our fun shows, but at the end of the day, we are definitely about the bigger things, the bigger picture. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed that so far. You just gotta get in the swing of doing ATP again, and it's gonna be fun. We have a lot ahead of us, and I'm very, very excited for the future.
I mean, the other thing is, with both of us going to university, we could be finding ourselves branching out to a whole new audience of people our own age who are interested in the same sort of things as us. So, I mean, I'm going to be doing a radio course, so chances are ATP is gonna be a big part of doing that course, and it's gonna be a big part of my future studies. And so chances are that we'll have a whole other audience of people who I go to class with, stuff like that, coming to the show. So, we're going to grow. And although it sucks we haven't had that massive growth that we would have wanted, I honestly don't care, because I know there's still huge things to come for ATP.
With that said, I guess we should talk about the main thing that ATP has always been very focused on mental health. I know a topic that has been very touchy for a lot of people, and it's one that has personally affected Kieran, and one that really just, I don't know, it shocked me when it happened. But the death of Robin Williams, as much as it has been talked about and as much as it has been discussed, I feel like we still need to talk about it, because it happened in the midst of our break, and if we could have, I would have loved to done an episode, but we just couldn't. But now we do have the time, and I feel like I should let Kieran have the floor. This has been something that he's talked about with me forever, and I feel like ATP needs to hear it.
So when I heard the news, it must have been about 2:30, 3 a.m. I woke up. Something woke me up. I don't know what it was. I just woke up and I saw my phone next to me, buzzing at me, telling me that I got a message, and it was a message from Paolo telling me the bad news that Robin Williams had passed away. And it may sound weird to some people, given that he's a celebrity, he's someone that I never met, but it hit me really hard. And I'm sure Paolo will agree with me that I was a wreck that night. Like I was still up until for at least another hour afterward talking to Paolo about it because I was not in a good state at all. And I think the thing is, to me, when I was growing up, Robin Williams was basically a hero, an idol. There were two things I wanted to be when I grew up, and I like to think that I was a lot more grounded than most 9-10-year-olds. But for me, it was either an actor or a zoologist.
Wow,
and so
a zoologist. Jeez, you had your life figured out as a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I did. I really did. And so that meant there were two people in my life that were my heroes. One being an actor, which was Robin Williams, and one more in zoology, who at the time when I was younger was Steve Irwin, who I think it was 2 days ago. It was the 8-year anniversary of his death too. And so I don't know. I think it was strange for me that the two people that I grew up, that I was so attached to, two people that influenced my life and my decisions so much, were both gone. It was hard for me, man. It was.
I think also the media reacted so. I don't think the media didn't know how to react to it. That's I'm trying to find a way to pinpoint exactly what the media did, but in all honesty, they just didn't know how to react to it. That's why there were so many different reactions, because mental health as a whole, suicidal tendencies as a whole, are not accepted. And so when something like this happens, people don't know how to react. So you get all different kinds of reactions. You have people who are too insensitive or too sensitive about it, or people who get all emotional, or people who don't even care. So it's very, very difficult to really report on something like this without the acceptance of it, because you don't know what to say. It's not exactly easy news coverage.
It's just it was such a tough one. You had some news channels that were talking about how it was a tragedy, celebrating his life, and they tried to keep it happy is the wrong word, but they didn't want it to be a sad time. It was, look at this phenomenal actor, let's remember the joy he brought everybody on a daily basis. And there were others that were questioning, I guess, why a man who had such a good life, had made so many amazing films, had made so many people amazingly happy, had a wonderful family, could find themselves in that position where they'd want to take their own life. And to me, it felt like the news channels that did react like that, there's one in particular, I'm not going to mention which one it was, but there was one in particular in England that really did not seem to have a clue what the fuck they were talking about, and it was really winding me up. And they were just constantly going on about how selfish he was, and how it was wrong that someone who had such a good life could take their own and insult the people who don't have a life as good as theirs. And I just thought that was disgusting. I thought the fact that this man clearly struggled with something that he couldn't control, because that's what depression is. Nobody can control that. It's not something that you can turn on or off with a switch. It's not like, wow, look at how great my life is, I'm happy now. I mean, you could be the most amazing person in history, but if that part of your brain that fights against the depression has a bad day, you could take it all away. It really doesn't matter how good or bad your life is. Depression is not something that affects you from the outside. It comes from the inside, and it's not something you can control.
And I guess the thing is, it's like, people always ask, why was he so depressed? What did Robin Williams have to be so depressed about? But at the same time, it's like, you can't really judge his life from the outside. And you can't really judge anyone's life from the outside unless you really know them and you really have the knowledge to be able to refocus them, it's very unfair to judge someone and judge their mental state based on what you think you know of them. You know, of course, as a friend, and if I see someone I know and someone I care about getting vaguely depressed or falling into that, I feel like that gives you the ability to say something to them, you know. But I feel like a lot of people just try to hide it because it won't be accepted, and then people are afraid to talk about it because you never want to assume someone is depressed. And I know sometimes I just don't, I just don't know what to say. You know, I feel like even for me, I don't know if you feel like this, Kieran, I feel like depression still puts me at a loss for words because there's no clear-cut way to handle it, and I don't think there'll ever be a clear-cut way to handle it, but people need to understand that, and people really just don't. And that's a very, very big issue that it bothers me every day.
And I mean, you're right. It leaves me at a loss for words too. And I think the thing that I guess shocks me the most is, and this is something I've not spoken about on ATP before. And we always talk about how well, I don't want to say always, but we've spoken about how I fought depression for ages and how I'm quote unquote over it now. And Paolo's had first-hand experience of this, but there are still days where I do suffer quite badly, and I don't know, I guess I haven't been honest with myself about that the last month or so I have been, but before that I really wasn't. And I guess, I mean, despite everything we've done, despite all this fighting we've done to end the stigma, as we often put it, it's still there, and it's still even affecting someone who is fighting it on a day-to-day basis. And that's just how serious it is, I guess, that it can literally change how you think, how you feel, how you act. And I mean, it's wrong, the fact that can happen, the fact that someone who does do a lot to fight the stigma, to try and make a difference, can still feel that pressure to bottle it up inside them and not do anything about it, even though they know better. I mean, if it was someone else coming to me and saying the sort of things that I've said to myself, I'd be all over them. I'd be telling them, everything that I thought they needed to do. But as soon as it's you, it gets a lot harder and strange.
And I feel like also, there are things that happen with depression, and there are, I guess, factors that cause it that, like, I don't know, for me, when we're talking about it, it's hard for me to see those because I know you so well. I'm involved in your day-to-day life, and I don't know, I feel like there has to be a balance. People, the more and more I'm realizing that, of course, it really helps to have that one person or those people who can get you through anything because they're so close to you and they believe in you, and you never want to leave them. So you're always going to be able to fight. But at the same time, I feel like you need something that balances you out, someone who is very objective. And I think something that a lot of people need to know is that talking to someone about it is okay. And I don't even just mean talking to a friend, talking to a professional about it. And it's going to be a tough road, and at times it's going to feel very unrewarding. It's not going to feel like you're getting anything out of it, but it's going to be really cathartic at the end of it. Because talking to someone who will learn your story but be able to judge it from the outside is ultimately, in the day, very helpful when it comes to just thinking about your life from an outside perspective. And I feel like that's something that I still struggle with thinking about as okay. You don't, when someone comes to you and you want to be there for them because you care about them and you want to give them everything you have, but at the same time, you also have to be aware that maybe they're going to need someone to talk through their problems about. Just someone who really can just listen to you and has no opinions on any of the stuff you're saying because it's their job to listen.
I don't know, man. It just really gets under my skin. Really winds me up how we can still be in a world where it's such a big problem. When we can have big names, famous people who will take their own life, and that stigma still stays. I mean, maybe it's horrible for me to say this, but honestly, Robin Williams' death should be a catalyst for change, and it should make a huge difference. And I hope it does. It's just a shame that it took something so tragic and something so horrid for some people to start realizing. I like to think that there are a few people out there now, a few more people at least, that understand a bit better. And I guess, I don't know, as horrible as the situation is, I guess there is one small bit of good that came out of the situation.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. I feel like people acknowledge it's an issue, and people say, especially here, I'm on a college campus, and it's a prestigious university, and I think all prestigious universities have to understand that there's an incredible amount of stress, an incredible amount of change, and a time of transition placed onto the students that attend. So yes, they're very supportive in the sense that people can have someone to talk to about it, But on the same sense, I also feel like they just don't do enough. I feel like when I was going through this orientation process at school, because they make you go to a bunch of events and they talk about all the resources available for you. Should you be extremely intoxicated, or should you break a bone, or need someone to walk you back because it's too dark, and just all that stuff. But the one thing they didn't talk about when it came to diversity, tolerance, accepting people, and they were reading through these essays of people who applied to school, and they just don't talk about mental health. Even when they talk about sexual assault, they talk about date rape, they talk about alcohol poisoning, addiction, people who need to seek help for their drug addiction, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to mental health, it's just something that we don't touch upon. We say, yes, there are resources available, but at least even when it comes to clubs and organizations and stuff, there are absolutely, I think there's just a very, very, very limited number of people who are willing to talk about it. Because when you bring it up, and especially when it comes to a school and a very big institution like the university, it almost looks bad if you have students who are depressed and people who come into college talking about depression, because at the same time, while it's a very big issue, it's also something that raises a lot of questions and a lot of flags, because society as a whole doesn't accept it. So if you say, okay, this school has a lot of people who are coming out as depressed, this isn't a good school to send my children to. But at the same time, it's like people don't talk that much about it as a collective group in a university, is because society doesn't accept it. So there's this line of like, how do we, as an institution of higher education, how do we bring this to the light? Do we have to take a stand. I think that's what it comes down to. Maybe that's why we need to spread the message of young minds, and that's why people need to start organizations like this in their high schools, maybe even their middle schools, and definitely in universities, so that we can change and we can fight and we can speak out. Because throughout the course of history, students, more than anyone, have become the catalysts for so many social reformations. And at this point in time, students are the ones affected the most by mental health. So at the end of the day, it's down to us, and even though we will face a lot of opposition, and won't be an easy road, but I feel like in order for us to achieve progress in ending the stigma, as we love to say, a lot of people are going to have to take risks and put themselves out there, and it can't just be us two. I think that's
I think that's something that Across the Pond has tried to do. Is we put ourselves out there, we put ourselves in the firing line. I guess the firing line might be the wrong way to put it, but we put ourselves out in the open, and we try to, fight for what's right. We're a nuclear disaster away from superheroes. Let's just leave it at that.
Modesty is the name of the game.
Yeah. No. I like to think that there are lots of people out there like us. Two random dudes just trying to make a difference in this world, whatever way they can. Whether it's through, I don't know, YouTube videos or blog posts or Twitch streams, or all put together like we do. There are people out there that do try to make a difference, and I think it's just a case of even just one of them getting the sort of internet fame that you see some of the most terrible people get. I mean, internet fame is something that a lot of people seem to strive for nowadays, and it's I wish I screenshotted that. That would have been amazing. I'm gonna go back at the end of this show and screenshot that. But yeah, I mean, internet fame is something that a lot of people seem to be going after nowadays. A lot of young people are trying to get, and I don't know, maybe it's just my cynical British manner, but I feel like the wrong people are getting internet fame. It's the quote-unquote attractive people, and I say that very loosely because I think they look like utter douchebags. But it's the sort of people that they use their looks to influence young people, and they try to influence young people to look or act a certain way and whatever. And I find it's wrong that people like that get the internet fame. And I'm coming off as really bitter right now, but honestly, I don't care for internet fame. I wouldn't want internet fame. I don't feel, but all it takes is for one person like us to get that sort of fame where they can really make a difference, and we'll start seeing a change. But unfortunately, it's the wrong people that are getting that opportunity. It's the sort of people that are selfish and
it's people who are, I know Nukem loves it, people who are unhappy in their own lives and like to just exploit anything they can to bring them some kind of happiness. But really, it's just artificial happiness, because money, yeah, it can buy you everything in the world, but it can't buy you the one thing that means everything.
I was reading a really interesting article about sort of the rise of the UK blogger or vlogger, the YouTube community and stuff, and it was written from the perspective of someone who's not been in that community. So it was from someone who they didn't really know about the small channels and how many people are out there trying to get themselves out there in the world, trying to get that internet fame. And it was from someone who didn't quite understand the system, I guess would be the best way of putting it. And it was a really interesting read, seeing how people perceive it from the outside. And basically, it seems to be that it's either you adore these people, you worship them, or you utterly despise them. And I just thought it was just the psychology behind how these people create these videos, and the topics behind them, and the fact that a lot of them seem to exploit the biggest insecurities in young people, and the fact that they always target how to do relationships and how to look attractive, and they never tackle the sort of topics we do. And maybe that's the secret. Maybe Across the Pond needs to start doing that sort of thing to get famous. But honestly, that is how I see it. And I think this article was completely right, that they don't, the videos they make, they're not their choice. It's what they know will get popular. It's what they exploit. They exploit the insecurities and the fears, I guess, of young people, and use them to draw in the viewers. And I think that's something that is despicable, honestly, because I would never do that with Across the Pond. If we ever got to the point where it's like you either have to start talking about, you know, how to convince girls to date you, or how to look attractive,
and stuff like Cameron Dallas.
Exactly.
Like, if I ever have to get pressured into making one of those videos, you know, people can just like no. I feel like
if the choice was between doing stuff like that or quitting ATP altogether, I would quit.
Oh yeah,
like I love the show, but I'm not selling out. I mean, selling out's the wrong word completely, but
it's just like sacrificing what got you to a certain point for anything else, really. I think that would just be wrong.
Yeah, and we would never exploit our viewers, and I keep using that word, but that's how I see it now. That's honestly how I see the. I mean, not all of them, I guess. I mean, I don't watch these vlogging types. I don't find them entertaining at all. I get angry at them. Like, I get genuinely angry when I watch videos like that. But I guess there will be some that aren't like that. But honestly, to me, it does feel like. I mean, it's not just vloggers. I don't want to. I want to point that out. It happens in the gaming community as well. You know, people will always exploit what. It's not quite the same thing. They don't exploit burped. Yeah, they don't exploit insecurities and stuff. I mean, the general consensus is the gaming market is all young teenage boys, or mostly young teenage boys, and so you a lot of the bigger YouTubers, you know, will spend a lot of time talking about guns and sex and women. And that's pretty much it, and that's what gets the most views. And if you go onto a popular YouTuber's channel, and if they've done a top 10 sexiest women in gaming, you can bet your ass that that's going to be one of their top view videos, because that's what the target market is. And I guess by saying these vlogs are exploiting their viewers, all they're doing is looking at a target market. But I think that the target market nowadays is wrong. The fact that people will care more about just unimportant stuff like that than the real problems in the world.
What's up, Dark Respect?
What's up? I don't know. I've gone off a bit on a run here.
No, I think it's important. It's definitely important to talk about, because when you talk about something like Twitch, I think this transitions perfectly into what I wanted to talk to you about next. Is Twitch was bought by Amazon, and this is now. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better than being bought by Google and having all those changes into place, but I really don't know what Amazon's going to do with Twitch. I don't know how it's going to affect their tablets, their phones, or anything that Amazon is trying to do. And I feel like there just isn't a good site for people to stream things other than YouTube. You know, like, I obviously enjoy streaming games, and you do too, but there's only so much of that we can do with ATP. But most of the time we're going to want to do this. We're going to want to have our regular shows. And now we just have to kind of hide in the darkness with Twitch, you know? We can't really advertise as much as we want to, because there's always this stigma, you know? We love that word, oh my gosh. If we were to play an ATP drinking game where you had to take a shot every time we said the word stigma, everyone would die at the end of each episode.
Yeah, we would. It wouldn't matter about like all the problems of ATP. None of them would matter anymore, because we would all be dead. Maybe that's something we should set up one day. Just do an ATP drinking game. Once we've got a few more viewers, just, you know, every time they say the word stigma, every time
I'd have to be in England for.
I mean, just the viewers do it.
Oh, okay.
Like we stay completely sober, and like we'll have like another.
We'll have a guest. We should have a guest.
Yeah, or just like a group of guests, and like we could add in like every time I go off on a rant about random shit that really doesn't matter.
Or like every time I'm on my phone during the show.
Yeah, exactly. We could have a lot of fun with that. We could have a lot of fun. I feel like maybe I don't know. Maybe it would be a good thing to do if we could do it if we have guests actually in the room with us. Maybe like if maybe we could do it when I'm over in America. Actually, that'd be more difficult. But I don't know.
Guests
If
in the
we've got,
room?
I mean, we've
So
we've
we
got
would
people,
live stream illegal activity unless you have 21-year-old friends you're planning to meet when we come here.
Good point.
Yeah.
Forget that.
You're full of good ideas today.
I am. I'm full of amazing ideas. Maybe we'll just get Liz to do it when she's over here.
She would die.
She would die.
Why are you
But
smiling when you say
that? It would be hilarious.
Oh god. Speaking of rants, I don't even know rant, just like a side, just completely off topic. Yeah, we need to advertise more for the show, but it feels very hard to do that because there's always the preconceived notion that Twitch is just a gaming site and that we're just advertising our gaming channel, and there's not really a site that's well known and has really good user interface and really good support that supports just streaming things, And there are podcast sites, but they're just audio podcasts. So I feel like in some senses we're a little ahead of the curve in terms of what a podcast could be. And I know we could do it on YouTube, but we don't have a following on YouTube, and YouTube it's very impersonal, I feel like, because the comments just go by so fast. There are no moderators. There's not the sense of community that Twitch has.
Yeah.
And because there is like an ATP community, and I wish we could just grow it a lot faster, but at this point we're almost kind of stuck at a certain point.
I mean, if ever YouTube fixes their streaming system, like in some way I wish that YouTube had bought Twitch, but rather than changing Twitch at all, they fix their own streaming systems using some of the stuff that Twitch has.
Mm-hmm.
So they fix their chat so it's more like Twitch's, and I mean, I don't have any problems with the player or anything, or the actual way you stream on YouTube. The main problem I have is the comments, because it's just so difficult to interact with your viewers. The whole point of a live podcast is to be able to interact with people. And I just don't feel you can do that on YouTube. Whereas on Twitch, it's nice and easy because we can see the chat. It goes by in real time. I mean, sure, there's about a 10-second delay, which is unavoidable, but it's a lot more personal, and I much prefer Twitch as a streaming place. But I mean, if we ever get caught by the Twitch police, we'll get kicked off because we're not gaming.
On YouTube, I don't know. On YouTube, it feels like I can't. I made that video about ATP, our charity stream and everything. I don't know how many subscribers I lost, but I'm pretty sure it was like at least 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people just realized. I lost 12.
The same thing happened on my channel whenever I uploaded a video about ATP or anything that wasn't Pokemon, basically, because that was where most of my audience came from. I would lose 5, 6, 7 subscribers, even if it was a vlog about the channel, or whether it was just a different Nintendo game or something. I literally couldn't do anything but Pokemon, otherwise my subscriber count would go down, and that's just the way YouTube is at the moment, or the way it will always be, I guess. Is it's lethal. You either have to focus on one specific thing to the point where you can't branch out at all, or you basically wither and die. I mean, I'm sure you've felt the same thing, where anything that's not zombies will just not get the same audience as anything that is, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But basically, YouTube nowadays is just get a shout out, you've got a chance. Without the shout out from someone that already has 5,000 plus subscribers, you are fucked, basically.
Yeah, YouTube dynamics are very interesting, especially in the vlogging world. I'm sure there are a lot of great vloggers out there and people who make fantastic videos, but then there are those people. I feel like there's this huge divide. There are people who make money off being genuine people. There are all these people who love to travel and make their lives about traveling, which is amazing, and everyone wants to see that because it's like the dream, to be able to pick up your life and just travel all around the world. And then there are these kids, to use my favorite term, these sweaty virgins, who just make videos and add cool effects, and then they get one shout out, and then they just do the same thing over and over again, and then it just turns into eye gouging dribble. But you know, I guess we could sit here and point out every single flaw in the internet community, but we'd
be here all. I was gonna say all day, but more like all year.
We need to start a new podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's strange. I mean, I've been watching YouTube videos now. Must be about. I mean, actively following specific people for at least 4 years, maybe more, and it's interesting watching the way and thinking about the way that the YouTube dynamic has changed, because I remember 3-4 years ago it wasn't so much you need a shout out from a big YouTuber, it was you needed a core group of a few people to help each other out. And I remember seeing YouTubers all around 100 subscribers, they would do crossovers, you know, do commentaries with each other, do let's plays with each other, and eventually they'd slowly grow together and they'd, you know, sort of share subscribers, and you see that core group of YouTubers. I mean, you still see it now. You see people who have, you know, a couple of 100,000 subscribers that seem to be very active with people that only have 10-15,000 because they were in that same core group 3 years ago when that was the sort of done thing. Whereas nowadays you don't see that. You see people who get big fast nowadays who come out of nowhere. They get a shout out from a big YouTuber with 100,000 plus subscribers, and they shoot off and they don't have that core group. And honestly, I think it's a really interesting thing to look at, the way it's gone from, you know, you have your groups of people that help each other out, and it's become sort of, it was a community. I mean, YouTube was a community, and the way it just sort of, it's grown to such an extent and become so cluttered to such an extent that there isn't a community anymore. There is big names and there is small names and there is no names, and that's it. And the only way, yeah, and basically split into 3 ways. You have your big names and your no names. The big name shouts out the no name, and then they become a small name, and the small name works from the small name up to a big name, and then they shout out another no name, and then they become a small name, and it's just sort of a vicious cycle that means it's incredibly difficult, because you have your big names, which is your 100,000 plus subscribers, which is a very elite group of people. I'd say maybe it even goes to the extent where it's as high as 500,000 nowadays. I think it even might be around like 750,000, a million. Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Just the amount it has grown is mind-boggling. You know, remember,
and
like 4 years ago, it was like maybe the most anyone had was like 5 million subscribers.
I remember when Syndicate got to 1 million subscribers, and how huge that was. How that was the biggest thing on YouTube, and how he became a legend. You know, he was one of the first people to ever reach 1 million subscribers, and he did it through gaming. And he was definitely the first British person. I'm not sure about in the world. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the first in the world, but he was definitely the first in the UK. And that was such a huge thing. Whereas now, people are hitting 1 million every day, and you see people like Syndicate and people like, I don't know, PewDiePie, who have. I mean, how many is PewDiePie on at the moment? I know
I have no idea.
Insane. I know Syndicate's just under 10 million, I think, now.
It's incredible. You know what makes me sick, though, in a sense, is that there are these people who have been on YouTube for a very, very, very long time. And we always said, well, it's like, wow, they're so underappreciated. They don't have as many subscribers as they should. And then they saw all the people they came up with reach more subscribers than they have. And so they're kind of sitting there and they're doing their own thing, and they're holding out. And then, like, this one thing happens, and then suddenly everything's out the window, and because of finances, usually it's just finances, they have to change everything they're doing and kind of lessen their own standards for themselves in order to make a living. Which is why I feel like, you know, we've always said this, but YouTube as a full-time job it's good in the sense that a few people should be able to do it full-time. You know, you should have it be a very, very exclusive thing, like professional footballers, both American and the rest of the world, professional basketball players, professional baseball players, people who play professional sports full-time. You know, it's a very exclusive group, and I feel like YouTube should be like that, even though it isn't. you know, because there are so many people out there who, you know, they see like they're hovering around 60,000, 70,000 subscribers, and something bad happens at school, or they just realize they're not as smart as they thought they were, and instead of saying, you know what, here's what I'm going to do with the next phase of my life, here's how I'm going to improve, they use YouTube as a fallback and say, you know what, I'm going to do this full time. I feel like, you know, while people may support that, and while it may be something that is profitable for them, they're taking away what they could contribute to the world, you know, in a positive way. You almost limit yourself by making YouTube a full-time gig. You know, I feel like just too many people do it. Too many people think it's a real thing that they can do with their lives, you know, and they just have no education. They have no drive. They have no ambition. They limit themselves socially, you know. I mean, it's like you limit yourself from your family with the amount of time you have to spend there. You limit yourself from meeting new friends. I mean, yeah, it's good to have people online you can talk to, but at the same time, you need to have a balance. And people who do YouTube full-time just don't have that. And too many people do it.
To put it into perspective, I've just looked up. PewDiePie has recently hit 30 million
Oh my god.
subscribers.
That's crazy.
That's
insane.
I mean, and I know a lot of people are still under the impression that YouTube famous isn't actually famous, but honestly, nowadays, yeah, YouTube famous and internet famous is genuinely famous. If you are that sort of level, I have no idea what the fuck you are doing right now, man. But yeah, it's I'm done. I'm done with you. I must say this at least every other show, but
every show.
I was making a serious point, and there you are pulling faces into the camera. You immature child. Go back to YouTube.
No, YouTube famous is a real thing. It is. I agree completely. Okay. Anyway, what were you saying?
I have no idea. I was saying something, but I can't remember. You've not just killed my train of thought. You've killed everything. It's
Wow.
just the show, the world, me. You know,
Jeez.
everything's dying.
Okay. Wow. Alright. Hashtag Paulo's face. Throwback. Throwback. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I guess what we were saying is that I don't know. Could we do ATP full time? I don't know.
I don't think we could do it full time.
I think we'd be missing
Simply
out on too
because
much. Yeah.
to do it full time, we'd need to be doing we'd need to at least be doing a show twice, maybe 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, you're seeing us now. We're struggling to find something to talk about, and we've been off air for a month.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we couldn't do it 2-3 times a week. We'd have to literally devote all our life to trawling through news stories, and trawling through. We would have to spend our life on the internet to make sure we had
Enough to talk
enough
about.
content
Exactly.
and enough like. And it will be incredibly difficult, and I'm not sure I'd want to do it, to be honest.
I wouldn't want to.
As much as I love ATP, and as much as I already spend 90% of my time on the internet, it's not something I can see myself doing.
That 10% is important. That 10%.
That 10% is mine. Yeah. And the way I see it is, we're probably going to end up, if somehow ATP goes huge, worldwide sort of thing.
What?
What?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm just really fidgety. Sorry.
Yeah, so if ATP does ever go, worldwide, goes huge and stuff, it will probably end up being we'd have other jobs. If we ever became celebrities, ATP wouldn't be why we became celebrities.
No.
ATP would be just a little extra thing that we do. And I think, I'm going to be a world famous radio superstar. And I mean that's the thing that's going to happen, and ATP is just going to be my hobby on the side that is going to make us bonus money that we do once a week, because I need the money to make sure my mansion stays in shape.
Like, can you imagine, like, one day if we made it big, we would just have people, we'd have researchers that would feed us topics and stuff. Yeah.
But on top of that, we'd also have people trying to catch us out, like news people. Like we would be the fappening. People will be looking for our nudes.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've never sent any, but
No, I've never either. No.
You've done some weird shit in the past.
What? No. No one has ever gotten one from me. No.
Nobody's ever gotten one. Not that you've never taken one. I see.
Shut up.
I see.
Like, why would I take it for myself? Like, why?
I don't know. Maybe you're just that vain.
Oh, really? Yeah. No.
I don't know, man.
Sorry, no. I know, like those girls who go to college and they hang pictures of themselves, just like of themselves in their room. Like, why?
I would hate to do that. Like pictures of me with people I like.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like pictures of me with friends or with a partner or with family or whatever. That's fine. I'm not just gonna like hang pictures of me on the wall. Just people walk into my room and it's just a big picture of my face on the wall. And it's like, yeah, I watch over myself while I sleep because that's not fucking creepy as shit.
It's like a picture of yourself like on the ceiling. So like you look at your, like you look at you wake up.
Is it bad that I now really want to do that? But not in the same way, just in a creepy way. I mean, just imagine bringing a girl back to your room.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and there's just a big picture of your own face on the wall. It would tell you enough about them if they turn and walk out the door. That's not someone you want to be with. You want someone that will embrace your face on the wall.
Okay.
And embrace your weirdness.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put pictures of my face on the wall everywhere.
Yeah. I mean. Mm-hmm. You should probably ignore my advice. I mean, you've got to bear in mind I am single, and
it's okay. It's not for a lack of excellent decorating taste.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know about you, but I think if not a picture of your face, there should at least be a picture of my face on your bedroom wall.
Oh, okay. I'll just do that. I'll just put like a those fat head things that they have for sports. Yeah, I'll just put like a fat head of Kieran just like on my wall.
Do it. I expect it to happen. I expect the next episode of ATP for my face to be in the background.
Just like right here on this wall, like right here. There's just like a giant picture of Kieran. Yeah,
yep.
That would.
I think that is the perfect way for you to proceed with your life.
Yes. This is my totally gay best friend.
And I will help fund getting a giant picture of my face.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I will make it happen. Like if there isn't one up there by the time I come to America, I'm bringing one with me.
Okay.
What the fuck has happened to this show, man?
I don't know. We have this moment.
It was really serious and really, it was powerful.
I'm sad people have missed this. Like our regulars.
Yeah.
Where I don't even know. Who are some of the people that we're missing? We're missing Slice and Penny and other who else?
Pretty much most of our regulars. We've had a couple of them pop in and say hi and stuff, but I mean, I was expecting a really low turnout to this one because we didn't advertise it at all until about 5 hours before we started. I just randomly got a text from you saying, yo, ATP tonight. It's like, Let's do it.
Yeah, no, we just gotta get in the swing of things for sure. We'll be better about it. And now you know, and then maybe I can make a video on my channel, lose another 12 subscribers.
Lose another 12 subscribers, bring us another 5 to ATP. It'll be worth it.
Okay, yeah, it'll be fine. What else?
I mean, when was the last time you uploaded a video? I mean,
July. Or you mean a
other than a non-ATP video?
I don't know. We can check. Let's fact check.
Have a look. I can't spell.
That wasn't ATP. Not even an ATP episode.
Not even ATP episodes.
The future of zombie videos. January 6th, 2014.
Honestly, your channel is just ATP now. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't spell is now I can't ATP.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
No, that's not.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, ATP I can't spell.
Yes.
Let's just do that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
ATP Polo, I don't know.
Yeah.
This video has 18 likes and 4 dislikes.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
Jesus, you're still getting fucking more views than me, and you're not even here.
What do you mean I'm not even here?
You have a video with over 1,000 views, man.
So you have 2 videos with over 2,000 views.
Yeah.
That video is actually not, like, the audio from that video is actually not bad. I feel weird when people watch my videos. Oh, this is over 1,100 views. 92 and 2. That's my greatest. That's my life's greatest accomplishment.
It's interesting because all your zombies videos have at least 100 plus. Any video that doesn't, like a lot of videos that don't have zombies, don't even hit 100. It's
the dramatic reading one. You remember that? That was so disturbing. I think I showed some people that, and they were seriously disturbed by me.
Jesus Christ, your intro, which you...
That was like 150
it's just
views.
your intro. It's
It was like
fucking weird, man.
It was like a 9-second video.
Jeez. Most popular.
Do you still have that picture of me? The retweet so I know God is with me one?
I don't know. I probably get it from your Twitter.
But it's so far.
Take a while.
It's from a year ago.
Yeah, why do you tweet so damn much?
I don't tweet that much. Not anymore.
Not anymore. You used to.
I did.
You used to tweet all the fucking time.
I did used to tweet all the time. Okay. It's fine. You know, we all have our problems. And yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. We all have our problems. Like you tweet a lot in short bursts.
I do.
You do.
I do. I will tweet randomly and go on a run. Normally it's not so much recently. It's definitely when I've recently watched like one of the comic book TV shows, an episode of that, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Arrow. I will definitely start rambling about comic books then, and I will go on for 5 or 6 tweets, and I lose followers from those tweets. But
it's okay. You know, they weren't people who really accepted you for who you were.
I don't have I look through my followers. I don't have a clue who fucking half of them are. I'll be honest.
Well, there are people from my life who follow you.
Yeah, but when I say I don't know them, I literally mean I have no idea where they've come from. Literally no idea. Like, I go back to some of my first followers. It's like, who the fuck are you? You've never spoken to me. You've never posted on any of my YouTube videos. You've never watched ATP. You've never ever done anything in my life, and here you are following me. I feel like some people are literally just stalking me for God knows why.
I don't know. Maybe they think your life is interesting. I don't know. I don't have anyone that thinks my life is interesting. I know everyone who follows me. This t-shirt. This t-shirt is adorable.
Oh, you were my first follower. How sweet.
Was I your first follower?
On this Twitter, you were. It was you, then Bradley, then some Sakinema. What the fuck is Sakinema? Some little big planet thing. They have like They
I
have like
was a
2,000 followers.
Skinamamole. Wow. Liz, both of Liz's accounts. Milo followed you a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. Ollie Polly. If I have that kid. Can we ever talk about how I lost like 70% of my online life when I quit playing League? And can we also talk about how that was the best decision of my life?
I tried again when I found out. Oh fuck! I can talk about it. This girl I've been talking with. She plays League, and I thought, let's give it another go. Maybe it could be a common interest or something. And it's just like, nope. I played one game. It's like that was 70 minutes long, and I feel like I accomplished nothing but making my ass go completely numb for sitting still for too long. I am not doing this again.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That is so